What's up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, saints and sinners, Jews and Gentiles? It's your boy Church with Hit Out to Hit Entertainment. First and foremost, I'd like to say thank you in advance for signing up to our YouTube channel, and thank you in advance for signing up to HitOutToHitEntertainment.com. It's very much appreciated. Now, with that being said, I want to jump right into what concerns my heart today. I didn't like what I saw when I saw what I seen in Philadelphia when those brothers was sitting down in Starbucks just to get a cup of coffee, and they was hated on. They was racially profiled. They was discriminated, falsely accused, and falsely imprisoned upon a trumped up charge of trespassing, when in fact they were invited into Starbucks to be a guest in the coffee house. Starbucks oftentimes invite everybody to come chill out their Wi-Fi, to come sit down in the coffee house, eat some coffee, donuts, and whatnot. But this time, this brother ran up on the wrong cracker or the wrong cookie at Starbucks, and therefore they were Jim Crow. Jim Crow is trying to make his way back into America's house again. Jim Crow is trying to make his way back into America's, I would say, system again, where it's going to be, they want it commonplace. This is why Donald Trump is talking about let's make America great again. That is the code word. Let's subject all these black people to torment again. Let's imprison them again. Let's mentally and physically abuse them again. Let's discriminate again. Let's make America great again. This is where he feels like America was great in doing its best, long as they was trying to keep black people from progressing. And you know what? With that being said, this is what I feel is wrong with all that is wrong with integration is discrimination. Everything that is wrong with integration is based upon its discrimination, its discriminatory practice, American practice of preaching one thing, but not doing like the amigos. They ain't walking like they talking. Now check this out.
We're not trespassing. No, they're not.
Okay, well, we're not going to deal with you right now.
They're not trespassing. They're meeting in here.
Okay.
And just anybody else, they're allowed to be in here.
No, they're not. That's the problem. They're racing the state. Like, leave. Everybody knows that.
Well, what were they asked to leave for?
That's the problem. Private establishment.
They do need a reason. You can't discriminate. It is discrimination. It's absolutely discrimination. Why was anyone else asked to leave?
Because we're not a big country.
I'm coming in. I'm going to be paid. They're meeting up. We're here a million times and paid to meet people. It's discrimination.
So you want us to stay back?
No, 2108152.
Does anybody else in this place think this is ridiculous?
It is ridiculous. I saw what happened.
Does anybody else think? I mean, so we'll go somewhere else and then we'll deal with
We're not
Starbucks.
going to leave it. We're done with that. We asked them to leave first time because they want to fly. That's not a debate.
I think that.
You can think whatever you want. We're not going to have an argument here. We're done. It's not a debate. That's the end.
Alright, well, this is another motivation why
It was Why would they be asked to leave? What was the reason for being asked to leave?
Make a scene here or not? I want to make a scene.
No, make a scene.
Dante, don't get into a fight with them. Don't get into a fight with them. Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. Yeah, this is ridiculous. What did they get called for? Because there are two black guys sitting here meeting me?
Yes, I didn't know like black guys.
Well, what did they do? What did they do? Someone tell me what they did.
They didn't do anything, I saw the entire thing. I
What
asked
did
in
they
the
do?
bathroom, and the woman says for paying customers. They didn't do anything.
I'm in the cuffs, we can fuck, right? We can walk, stay in calm, no touches, right? You making them tired, that's all you gotta do.
You should well behave. You're so cute. Oh my god, you're so cute.
Man, can you imagine that happening to you? Can you imagine that happening to you? You go to Starbucks, you go somewhere, sit down and enjoy your day, sit down and go meet with one of your homeboys, sit down and go meet with a friend, sit down and meet with a business associate, sit down and meet with someone, and you get accosted, you get falsely imprisoned, your civil rights get violated, and the police handcuff you and falsely accuse and lie and say that you were trespassing, when in fact you were far from trespassing, because it is a public place that opens their doors to the public. And the officer come up with this concocted ideal, concocted story that, hey, he's trespassing, they're trespassing, say that in order to handcuff you and take you off to jail. So I'm glad that Starbucks has done their due diligence as it relates to firing the individual who called, the racist who called the police on these brothers just because they were sitting down. But there's more to be done. I'm with the TI. I'm with every black person in the country who's pissed off about this, saying, hey, Starbucks need to do more. You need to pay. You need to pay like you weigh, versus sitting back and just writing a letter of apologies. No, your employee is vicariously liable for the actions of the corporation. Your employee is vicariously liable for the actions of your corporation. So therefore, it wasn't just the employee who got fired that was wrong. It was the atmosphere, the hostile atmosphere that Starbucks has created for these brothers. You cause an injury to these brothers' manhood, cause an injury to these brothers' dignity, greater insult into their civil rights and their human rights. They're hauled off to jail in front of an audience, in front of people, utterly disgraced and shamed. Now we're talking about punitive damages. We're talking about mental anguish that you cause these men simply because they were black in the presence of some racists. They was eating while black, traveling while black, and now they got to pay with their humiliation, pay with this particular, be humiliated in such a way, and it's all over the world right now. This particular matter is all over the world. See, that's why America is so criticized, because you're a hypocrite. You preach that equality, you preach justice, you preach liberty and justice for all. You say this, but you don't walk it like you talking. You really need to check out the Migos and walk it like you talking. You need to take that to heart. You need to walk it like you're talking. If you're talking justice and fairness and equality for everybody, it needs to be demonstrated in your businesses. It needs to be demonstrated in your legislation. It needs to be demonstrated in your policies. It needs to be demonstrated in the people. You know, it ain't no way that the cops should have came out there and arrested them. Them brothers said no, they didn't want to go because they walked in there on their own accord and had to leave in some handcuffs. Man, please. What if that were you? What if that was your brother, sister? So I'm glad that the community is standing up for them and reaching out to these brothers to do what they can to let them know that the world saw this, the moralistic mind saw this, and I even think, you know, it's good that them white folks had good vision in this case. They were right. Even the whites were right who saw that as wrong. And that white guy, whoever he is, man, shout out to you for standing up against these tyrants, racist bastards, man. Racist bastards who utilizing the hide behind their badge to execute all type of racist actions toward those brothers who was there. Ain't no way they should have been hauled off to jail based on an allegation or based upon a statement or based upon their presence, because there was nothing they done based upon the presence or based upon the statement of they trespass, when in fact they was there just on a business rendezvous, taking care of business, trying to meet with a brother, meet with someone in order to galvanize and make some business deals. With that being said, that reminds me of this here particular case that I heard about. It's called the Heart of Atlanta Hotel case. It was a case that went up before the Supreme Court of the United States. And in this case, it dealt with a racist white owner, basically, who did not like blacks frequenting his business, so he denied him basic accommodations. Pretty much like what Starbucks did in this case in Philadelphia. And it also lays the foundation for my next video that I'm going to show real quick about a brother who was also at Starbucks, and a similar incident happened to him, but he was on the other side. He was way on the West Coast in California, but that's why systematic racism is not just on one, it's not just the individual, but it's the systematic process of racism that is greater than the one individual. If that was just one individual in Philadelphia that made that vile call based upon her racist perspective and she was fired, it might have been the end of the story. But here go Starbucks alleging that it was just an isolated incident, but when in fact the same thing happened on the West Coast. Let's go to the West and brother waiting on this white guy to come out the bathroom and prove up his point. Check this out.
How you doing, bro? What's your name? Where Wood.
Weston.
Weston, nice to meet you, sir. Did anyone told you that you look like someone familiar?
No.
No, you never got that?
Yeah.
Have you purchased anything in here, sir?
No, but I was just about to go.
You about to go purchase something?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, but before you made a purchase, they let you use the restroom, right?
I just typed in, I asked for the code.
You asked for the code and they just gave it to
Yeah.
you, right? Before you made a purchase.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Come on, let's go. Are you done? Were you about to get something?
Well, I was going to get food.
Are you going to get food?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So this is Weston. And Weston hadn't made a purchase yet, you guys. So I would like Starbucks right here on Redondo, on Artesia and Hawthorne.
You need to stop recording.
This man right here said he hasn't made a purchase yet. He's in line to make a purchase, and you guys haven't get you guys had gave him the code, right? Isn't that what you did?
My business right now. I
No,
did
this is
not
not your
give you my
business.
code.
This is not your
This is a
business.
private business.
This is
Yes,
not
I
your
am the
business
store
though.
manager.
Okay, you may be the
And
store
I'm asking
manager,
you to
but
leave
you're not
right
the
now.
you're not
You're
in
actually not allowed
charge.
to be in here. You need to
I'm
leave.
not allowed to be in here anymore.
Yeah, I have
Why?
to leave.
You see, they're so mad. Why are they upset with me, Weston? What did I do?
I don't know.
I just tried to use the bathroom like you did, and they gave it to you. Is it my skin color? 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 I can use the bathroom, but Weston could.
Amen.
I feel it may be my skin color. Hey, but this is about to be on social media. It's about to go in the shade room. You guys know.
Damn shame. That's what it is. I have no intelligent words to say about what I just seen, but other than it's a damn shame. To see that, to see it, to hear it is one thing, to see it, it's a damn shame. That's pretty vile. You want to make America great again by having this kind of indifferent treatment in your business policies and different practices. You want to be able to give whites a Jim Crow aura again. You want them to have the Jim Crow power again. You want Jim Crow to come up out the grave again and be ordered to be able to flex on black people. White man on the curve. White brother better get off because his superior is here, right? That ain't going to happen. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen in this generation, in the generation to come. Because you know what? People ready to die for it. I'm ready to die for mine. You know, I will not live as a slave. I will not be a person that sit back and watch all that take place and not be ready to defend myself and my family, defend my brothers, my sisters, in a way where that doesn't happen in America again. We ain't going back like that. So I don't know how far they trying to take this. Let's make America great again. Because when we think about what made America great, it was nothing but black people. Black people, the only thing that made America great. Only reason you have inventions, only reason you have an industry of any kind is because of black people. Black people is who and what made America great. So what are you talking about? And if we're talking about slavery times, we ain't going to back like that to make no America no great again. Not at all. So that ideal seems to be rooted in servitude, some type of slavery, some type of brutalization of African American people, where you're going to make white Americans feel that they could shoot you down, beat you down, mistreat you in a restaurant, talk to you in a kind of way, do whatever they can do to harm you, and in the sake of making America great again, or in the sake of, in this brother's case, he was trespassing. Now, I pulled up a video that I had to go do some digging for because I really want to kind of use that video as let's say, as a bridge to bridge now and then. Because the perspective of these whites, when they get jammed up, when they violate your civil rights, and they violate your human rights, and they violate you in those ways they try to utilize in their business, you're now trespassing. She tried to pull a card and say, well, I'm the manager. It's a private business. And in my private business, I can do what I want. Case called the Heart of Atlanta case. This white hotel owner. Blacks that travel 1 million miles. Find that that'd be the best or the closest hotel that they could find in Atlanta. This particular white business owner tell them, listen, nigga, you can't get a room here, nigga. You got to go to the back if you're black, nigga. You cannot enjoy none of the public accommodation here, nigga. You got to get yours somewhere else, nigga. So the Kennedy at the time was the Attorney General of the United States, and he fought or prosecuted this case against the Heart of Atlanta Hotel. And this is basically this was when the decision was coming down, and this is some of their thoughts at the time about the court taking its time and making a decision on it. Check this out.
The decision come right after the hearing or before the election. It would have been reasonable to suppose that they were going to decide as they have. Since they have put the decision off this long, I really was somewhat surprised the way it came out.
While we've been waiting for the Supreme Court decision, you've been under orders to accept Negroes at the Heart of Atlanta Motel. How many have you served during this period of time?
I don't know the exact number, but it's been very few.
And how have the few whom you have served, how has this affected your business?
Well, since they were few in number, it has had very little effect, but I really anticipate that all motels in the South will have some adverse effect over a period of time because
discrimination in America is all that is wrong with integration. Discrimination is all that is wrong with integration. That's why black people need their own infrastructure, set up their own businesses, set up their own. That needs to be. If you're not gonna have on equal treatment, if it ain't gonna be fair, if you can't walk it like you talk it, if your promise can't be what the flag says it's gonna be, your preamble says it's gonna be, your Constitution says it's gonna be, blacks need their own. And I think that is why South Africa is a shining light as to what, infrastructure change need to be about. There need to be some changes in the infrastructure, because it ain't no way after in 1964 up to this time, when you're still fighting for fairness, you're still fighting for inequality, you're still fighting to be able to go sit down and enjoy a cup of coffee, man. Something as simple as a cup of coffee, some Wi-Fi, sitting in a hotel, motel, or a restaurant, and you're accosted by police officers who basically strip you of all your civil liberties, your constitutional right. Every last one of them brothers' constitutional right was violated, man. They was siege, search. Their Fourth Amendment right was violated. They went down to jail. They personal space. They was arrested without any kind of warrant. They was falsely accused, and they was falsely in prison. And you say to me, man, I'm sorry. That's all Starbucks can do. That's all they can do from Philly to California is apologize. No, this is deeper than just two individuals who work at Starbucks. That's systematic racism. That's a systematic mindset where you figure like, look how the cop, look how the cop even in California approached the brother after the white woman after the white Jim Crow hoe got to alleging and saying things to that nature. I'm the manager. Well, according to the Interstate Commerce Clause, it's a public facility because you get public proceeds. You're making public money. You get some kind of way due to the Interstate Commerce Clause, you're interacting with the public. And even though you are out your mouth, you are verbalizing that is a private business, when in fact the Interstate Commerce Clause has the right to regulate your business, just as they did in the Heart of Atlanta case. So what we see it is systematic racism. That's why the Civil Rights Act 1964 and the Interstate Commerce Clause is supposed to be protecting brothers from this, man. You're supposed to be protected from that. You ain't supposed to be sitting. That was not supposed to happen in America, not in this America. Not in this America. And I don't know what Donald Trump mean by make America great again, because the America that you once knew was not great. That was not great what was happening to black people. That was not great when blacks were being shot dead in the street at a higher rate, most definitely than what it is now. But you talking about you had Jim Crow law and segregation in place? You talking about that great America? What America are you talking about? So when you say make America great again, is this the phasing in of that new great America you're talking about, let's make it great again. Like it wasn't great before. So no, black people have gave too much to go back. And I'm finished with this commentary, and I'd like to say thank you for taking your time to subscribe to the YouTube channel, as well as sign up for hit.hitentertainment.com. Thank you. I appreciate you, and God bless.